Episode 381, The Universal Compiler. How architectural constraints become executable reality. If the architectural code defines what is allowed, something must decide what actually runs. That function is the compiler. What the universal compiler is not. It is not an entity. It does not think. It does not judge. It does not reward or punish. What the universal compiler is? The universal compiler is the execution filter of reality. It translates constraints, conditions, coherence into one executable state. Why a compiler is necessary? Without a compiler, everything allowed would run. That would be chaos. No system functions that way. One compile, one execution. The compiler does not run options. It does not branch universes. It selects one coherent execution at a time. Everything else remains potential. Compile time versus runtime. Compile time checks compatibility, stability, coherence, load tolerance. Runtime executes physics, biology, experience, timelines. Why possibility is not reality? Possibility exists in design space. Reality exists in execution space. The compiler separates the two. Why timelines exist but multiverses don't? Timelines are internal state variations within one execution. They are not separate worlds. They share memory, constraints, and continuity. Why forcing reality fails? Forcing attempts to bypass compile checks. When checks fail, execution delays, reroutes, collapses, not denial, just correction. Collapse reframed. Again, collapse is not punishment. It is compile failure handling. The system protects integrity. Consciousness and the compiler. Consciousness does not control the compiler. It influences compilation through coherence. Higher coherence equals cleaner execution. Why belief alone does nothing? Belief is not a compile parameter. Coherence is, structure is, compatibility is. Why this ends manifestation myths? You cannot manifest outside constraints. You cannot select outcomes arbitrarily. You can only align so execution becomes possible. Nested compilation. Cells compile biological form. Bodies compile behavior. Planets compile regulation. Galaxies compile structure. One logic, different scale, similar architecture. The core lock. There is one architectural code, one compiler, one execution, no parallel universes, no branching realities, no timeline hopping. Why this is liberating? You don't have to force life. You don't have to control outcomes. You only need to align with what can run. Reality does not respond to desire. It responds to coherence. The compiler decides what runs. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and follow for more aligned content. And if you're new, I would suggest please start with episode 0, the source field. Everything builds progressively step by step from there. And also please do not forget to download free books, free PDFs and free FMPs from the link in my bio. Thank you.